Hi guys, how are you doing? I hope today is going well. Today we're going to do a little bit of reading, and then I'm also going to be giving you some announcements about the next 2 weeks. But let's go ahead and start with the reading. So we're going to be using Burlington English again, so let me share my screen. Doop, 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 doop. There we go. All right, so we're still in the same unit we've been in. Today is going to be the last day of the unit, so I want it to end with some reading and look at some reading strategies at the same time. So we look here, we are going to be reading an email today. So we see the subject is Hello from Vietnam. Now, where is Vietnam? What do we know about Vietnam already? Okay, so Vietnam, if we look on this map, is this yellow country here in Southeast Asia. Good, good. So you might already know some things about Vietnam. You might have some background information, and that is great. That is very helpful. Now, before we just read this straight through, I want us to look at this tool that's here on the right side of the screen. It says Fact File. Now, this tool, it can be called lots of different things, but what it is a graphic organizer. So it's a way to organize the information that is in this email in a way that is easy to remember and helps you keep track of everything that you are learning about as you read. Now, as you read in a second language, it can be a lot harder to remember things as you go, especially when things are longer. So this email is 3 paragraphs long. And if you just read it through and try to remember everything, by the time you get to the second paragraph, you might forget what's in the first paragraph. Or by the time you get to the end, you might forget what was at the beginning. That is very normal. It's very normal for a second language. You are having to think about a lot of things. You're trying to remember vocabulary and grammar and all of these things. And so sometimes the things you're reading, you forget. So in your first language, this is not a problem because you don't have to think about those other things. You can just think about the information that you're learning. But in a second language, sometimes you need some help remembering those things. And that is what this graphic organizer is for. So this one is called a fact file, but there are lots of different kinds. So let's take a look at this one. This one is talking about the main points in the email. So we see number 1 is country, 2 is location, 3 is capital, 4 is largest city, 5 is official language, and 6 is currency. So this is an informational email, and those are the 6 main points that this email is going to make. So as we read through this email, I want you to write on a piece of paper. It can be in your notebook. It can be just on a piece of paper. And I want you to write down these things as we go. One of the good things about writing is that as soon as you write it down, you don't have to remember it anymore. It's written down and your brain doesn't have to try to keep holding on to that information. So on your paper right now, I want you to write country, location, capital, largest city, official language, and currency, so that as you read, you can write those down. Now you can pause the video here if you need a little bit more time. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and get started. So if we look at this email, if we take a look at it, we see that the email is to Sarah. So Sarah is the one receiving this email, and it is from Tam. So Tam is the person writing the email. Now, we're going to read this in sections. We're not just going to power through all of it at once. So I want you to first read just this first paragraph. Just this first paragraph that starts, "How are you?" As you read it, if you see one of these 6 main pieces of information, write it down. Don't try to remember it. Just write it down next to the proper title. Okay, so just read the first paragraph and write down if you hear or if you find one of these 6 things. Go ahead and pause the video right now. Take as much time as you need. All right, great. Hopefully you're done with that first paragraph. So in that first paragraph, you should have found the country, the location, and the official language. So these aren't all going to be in order, but you should have found the country, location, and official language. If you need to go back and read it again, that is totally fine. Go back and read that first paragraph if you missed one of those. Otherwise, let's go ahead and look at the second paragraph. So I want you to do the same thing. Read the paragraph. If you find one of these 6 things, write it down. So pause the video, take as much time as you need. All right, good job. We've read that second paragraph. In that second paragraph, you should have found the currency. So the second paragraph talked about currency. All right, surprise, guess what we're doing now? We're looking at the third paragraph. So do the same thing. You should finish up, you should find the capital and largest city in this paragraph. So pause the video, read that second paragraph, and find those last bits of information. All right, good job. So you should have found the location, or not the location, excuse me, the capital and the largest city. All right, good job. So hopefully you have found all 6 of these things. So let's check them and make sure you got those. So the country is Vietnam. We already knew that. The location, we talked about this a little bit, is Southeast Asia. The capital is Hanoi. Capital is Hanoi. The largest city is Ho Chi Minh City. The official language is Vietnamese, and the currency is the dong. Good. So those are the main points. Now we know what this email is about. Even though it is 3 paragraphs long, we know the information that's in it. We're not searching for information. So what I want you to do now is to go back and read the whole email all the way through, and hopefully it will be faster and smoother because you've already read each paragraph once and you're not learning new information, you're just practicing that reading speed. So pause the video right now and read through the entire email. All right, good job. Hopefully you noticed that it was faster and smoother than when you read each paragraph the first time. So having this information can be really helpful. As we go through the semester, we're going to be looking at different types of graphic organizers, ways to keep track of the information that you're reading so that you're able to remember more and you're able to get the main ideas smoother. So let's do a little bit more practice with this email. Hopefully it loads. Here we go. Okay, so it's the exact same email. Nothing new over here. We've already read it. We know what it's about. And what we have over here on the right is the same information, but phrased in a different way, in a different order. So what I want you to do, we are not learning new information, but we are going to fill in these new paragraphs with that same information using these words. So the words we're going to be using are capital, worth, official, currency, areas, museums, different, Southeast Asia, and bills. Okay, so you can refer to this, you can look back on this if you need to, but I want you to take a minute, pause the video, read through this first paragraph that is rephrased from the email, and decide which words are you going to put in 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, pause the video if you need some more time. If not, let's go on down. Let's look at this second paragraph, starting with Vietnamese. So pause the video, read this paragraph. You can look back on the original email if you need to, and decide which of these words go in number 5. All right, and let's look at the last paragraph. So pause the video and decide which words are going to go in 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right, hopefully you are finished with this whole rephrased section. If you need some more time, just pause the video, take as much time as you need, and let's check through it. I'm going to read it, read along as you go, and check the words to make sure you have decided on putting the right words in these paragraphs. All right. Hello from Vietnam. My name is Tam, and I was born in Vietnam. Vietnam is a beautiful country in Southeast Asia. It has lots of mountainous areas, farmland, rivers, and some of the best beaches in the world. Ho Chi Minh City is the largest city in Vietnam, but it isn't the capital. Hanoi is the capital. It is a beautiful city with lots of museums and parks. Vietnamese is the official language of Vietnam, but many people speak other languages like Chinese, English, Khmer, or French. The currency in Vietnam is called the dong. There are coins, but people don't use them because they aren't worth very much. Most people use bills. There are 12 different bills from 100 dong to 500,000 dong. All right, hopefully that wasn't too difficult for you. So one of the benefits of starting with this graphic organizer, wait for it to load. One of the benefits of starting with this graphic organizer is that you get the main ideas of the paragraph and of the reading, and then you can go back. Then you can go back, and because you already know it, we are able to use different words in different phrasings. So hopefully that was helpful. Again, this semester, we're going to be practicing using more of these graphic organizers as we're reading to help hold that information in. And if you didn't love this, if you didn't love the fact file, if you didn't love this fact file, that's okay. If you remember information differently, that is fine. But if this helped you, this is a way to think about how you can use this in your daily life. If you have to read some long letter from a school or something in the newspaper, you can always take notes about the main points, and that's a way to help you remember the information and organize it in a way that's easier to understand. All right. Now, I have a couple of announcements for you. The first one is about my office hours. So I've already seen some of you, which is great. Thank you so much for coming in to fill out those documents. Some of you have not done that yet. That's okay, you still have some time, but my office hours are going to change. So this week, today on Thursday, I have office hours from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So if you're able to come into the classroom today, great. If not, next week my office hours are also on Thursday, but they're a little bit longer. They're from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, but they are only on Thursday. Okay, so if you're able to come in today or next week on Thursday, please come in, fill out those documents. That gives you a chance to ask me any questions, and I can give you some more information. If you're not able to come in, I understand. Just let me know and I can send you them via email. I can email you those documents to fill out so that you are registered and I have all of your information for the next semester. Now, The second announcement I have is about next week and the next week. The way we are doing class is going to look a little bit different next week and the next week because I have what is called jury duty. Now, let me show you a picture. So jury duty has to do with the court system. So let me move this over. This is a very small picture. Can I make it? Oh, there we go. Perfect. So if we look at this picture of a courtroom, we have the judge, we have the attorneys, we have the different people on trial. And over here we have what's called the jury. So if you see the word up here, J-U-R-Y, this is the jury over here. Now, as a citizen of the United States who is older than 18, one of the responsibilities of being a citizen is to serve on a jury when asked. So I got a letter in the mail that said, we want you to be on a jury. We've chosen you, you lucky, lucky person. And so for the next 2 weeks, I am going to be on a jury here in Lexington. So what that means for our class is that I am going to send you one assignment for the week. So probably on Sunday of this week, I am going to send you a packet of test prep information. So it will be a little bit different from person to person depending on the next test you're going to take, but it is going to be working with vocabulary and a little bit of reading and answering questions based on readings. Some of you are very close to testing again, so when the new semester starts, you will probably test within the first month that we're back in school. So this is a way to get comfortable with that again, to remember what it feels like to do some of those multiple choice questions, to practice some of those test taking strategies that we've talked about. So next week, that is going to be the only assignment I send you. So on Sunday night, I'm going to send you a packet that's about 6 pages long of vocabulary and practice questions. Doing those, if you are able to print it out, you can. You do not have to. As you're answering the questions, you can just write them on a piece of paper. That is totally fine. But what I want to remind you, please, if you write on a piece of paper, take a picture of it and send it to me so I can check your work and I can see what you're doing. If you're able to print them out, again, take a picture, send me your answer so I can check it and so I can give you credit and hours for doing that work. All right, so next week I'm going to send you a packet. The next week I'm going to send you a different packet. So do as much as you can of the first packet, take a picture, send it to me. The next week, you'll get a new packet. Do as much as you can of the new packet, take a picture, and send it to me. Now, if you have any questions, please feel free to send me a message on Remind. I am still able to check my phone and things like that. We just won't have I just won't be sending you assignments on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm just going to send you one assignment for the whole week. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to be sending you some other updates when we get closer to the start of the new semester. So as a reminder, our new semester starts on August 17th. When we get a little bit closer to that, maybe next week, I will send you a little bit more information as to what time our class is going to be and information of whether our class will be online or in person. All right, if you have any questions, please just let me know, and hopefully I will see you all soon. All right, bye guys.